Hello, my lovely friends. It is Tuesday, and I am back once again with another scrapbook layout for you. So, still on my every other day listing, posting, whatever you want to call it, on YouTube. So, feeling really good about the progress I've been making there. At 10 a.m. every other day, I bring you content for a scrapbook layout that I've done, like a process video, or in between, I've added a haul here and there. So I've been kind of cut file crazy lately, and I bought this cut file from A Cut to You, and it's simply called So Loved. And I thought it was just adorable, and cut files are an amazing way to use up your scraps, and I always seem to have scraps, and tearing into a brand new 12 by 12 piece of paper just kind of makes me cringe when I could use a scrap. So I'm very scrap oriented. Unless I'm going to use a big piece of a 12 by 12, I just struggle with digging into it. So all of my scraps get used up, or like sometimes you just kind of don't use those types of colors or that type of pattern anymore. And so sometimes I'll go through and eliminate some of my scraps. But I do have a nice lofty bin that I keep them in, where I can pull all of my little bits and pieces. Oh, and Project Life cards. Those are great for backing photos and for backing cut files, because I don't do Project Life. So those little cards work out perfect, and I also use them for journaling on the back, which is where I do my journaling, because I don't really appreciate my journaling on the front of the page. I don't know why, because I like my handwriting. I know I've said this a dozen times, but for whatever reason, it bothers me. So I took this really cool paper from Heidi Swap, and it is from her Art Walk collection, and I backed that. I cut it down a quarter of an inch on each side and backed it on a piece of this light pink cardstock. And I got these products from my Hip Kit Club kit, I believe back in March or April. So these photos are of True and I at, it was Mother's Day. She took me to get a pedicure, and she got a pedicure, which is really unusual because she does not like her feet to be touched. But I thought it would be a great time for us to spend together, and it was her suggestion, and she was treating me, so we went and had fun doing that together. And you can see there's a picture of me with my feet in the water, and a picture of her just giving me a lovely smile and a happy little peace sign there. She's my mini me. So I backed these photos with more scraps, and I am going to end up popping up a little bit of the photos just to give them some added dimension. And I did pop up the cut file, so that is all popped up, as well as the photos. So it was kind of necessary to pop up the photos on those two ends because they were sticking up from being on top of the cut file. But I love the colors, and I'm not a heavily blue person, but I used a ton of blue paper and scraps on this page, so I'm really excited about that. So I'm introducing some of these Bloom Street cut apart labels from the number 13 paper. I still have tons of those. If you cut that up as just labels, it's going to go a super long way. So that's what I did. And I'm actually starting with my title. Can you believe that? Like, I'm so impressed with me using thickers for titles and getting titles on my pages. Oh my gosh, I have got this huge stash of thickers. And I've been needing to use these alphas forever. They are from, I think they're from they're called Paperwork. I don't know what collection they're from, but they're just adorable. And they look like a little sketchy outlined newspaper. So I'm going to add my splatters, and I did add a little tassel there, as you can see. I'm not sure where that came from. I interviewed a couple of bows. I don't end up keeping that striped bow. I end up changing that. But I dug into this Pink Fresh Studio collection, and I think it is Let Your Heart Decide. And I found some really cute epoxy stickers that I'm going to add around the page. So I did add this little gray bow from Cocoa Vanilla. I just thought it was not as large and it blended better with the layout. And that is from Cocoa Vanilla's Unforgettable collection. So still using a ton of those little epoxy pieces from Pink Fresh. And you can see I've got a couple of enamel dots that I've added to the page. That is from my Mind's Eye Wander collection. And I'm trying to figure out if I can add some more embellishments here. And I go for this American Craft Thickers called the Lucky Ones. And I want to say that's an Amy Tan collection, but don't quote me. And I thought I would put another type of title down, but I don't end up doing that. It's just too large. So I was like, But it did have these cute little foam hearts, and I'm going to grab a couple of those, and I'm going to add them to my little clustered areas around those labels and those epoxy stickers. And I think it adds an extra little pop of white that balances the title out in the layout. I do end up using some sequins here, and I keep telling myself I'm going to make some type of sequined pocket page with a cut file. I really want to do that. I have bought these new sequins from Carolyn Pooler Designs, and I absolutely love them. I think they're adorable. So I know that this one is like snowflakes and a little bit of like iridescent white and grays, but I love it. Even though it wasn't snowing or anything and it's super warm here on Mother's Day, I just thought it blended and worked perfectly with the layout. So I used it. And so you don't even really notice that it's snowflakes and that sort of thing. And there's not very many snowflakes on there. But I think that's going to finish up the layout. I would recommend gluing down your thickers. Only the foam ones seem to want to stick, but the chipboard, they just fall off after time. So that's it. I appreciate you watching. I will have another video for you in a couple of days, if not sooner. But that's it for now. And I will talk to you later. Ta-ta for now. Bye.